Many people believe that taking blood pressure medication is enough, but by the end of this video, you'll gain a clearer understanding often.
High blood pressure doesn't come from salt or stress alone. In many patients, it develops quietly because important nutritional.
Some vitamin deficiencies don't cause pain or symptoms right away, but they silently push blood pressure higher year after year without warning.
Today, I'll guide you from the mildest deficiencies all the way to the single vitamin that affects blood pressure more than any other. Your blood vessels don't stiffen overnight. Something slowly pushes them in the wrong direction, and most people never see it coming.
When the vessel wall loses its flexibility, even small changes inside your body can push blood pressure higher than it should be.
That's why so many patients feel fine, until one day their blood pressure rises and refuses to come back down.
Stay with me because in a moment, we'll explore how certain vitamin levels are commonly associated with long-term blood pressure patterns. High blood pressure usually doesn't appear suddenly. It creeps up slowly, year after year, while most people feel completely normal.
Medication controls symptoms, but when the root causes are ignored, blood pressure often remains unstable despite treatment.
Most patients are told their tests look normal, yet no one ever checked the vitamins quietly influencing their blood pressure.
That's why today we're talking about vitamins and why certain deficiencies are quietly linked to rising blood pressure.
We'll begin with the mildest deficiency, vitamin B12. Small changes here don't raise blood pressure immediately, but B12 plays a mild but important role, supporting the nerves that help regulate vascular tone and long-term stability.
Most people never notice the signs of low B12, yet over time it can weaken the systems that keep blood pressure steady.
So while B12 isn't the main driver, it helps us understand the broader picture of how nutrient levels may relate to long-term health trends.
Vitamin B12 doesn't raise blood pressure directly, but it's commonly discussed in relation to overall nervous system health and long-term blood pressure observations. When B12 is low, nerve signals become less efficient, and over time that imbalance can affect how blood vessels respond. Most patients fall into a low normal range, which often goes unnoticed, but still matters for long-term blood pressure stability.
So B12 is the starting point, important, but only the beginning of our journey through vitamin-related blood pressure risks. Vitamin C is often mentioned in broader discussions about circulatory health and ongoing cardiovascular research topics.
Low vitamin C intake is often noted alongside changes in oxidative balance that researchers continue to study.
Low vitamin C won't spike blood pressure overnight, but over months and years it weakens vascular resilience.
Vitamin C is not the main driver, but it quietly supports healthier vessels and steadier blood pressure over time. Vitamin B6 affects blood pressure more clearly because it helps regulate stress signals that directly influence how tightly blood vessels constrict.
When B6 is low, the nervous system overreacts to stress, pushing blood pressure higher, especially in the early morning. This is why correcting a B6 deficiency often helps reduce stress-related blood pressure spikes in real patients.
Among the B vitamins, B6 stands out because stress control plays a direct role in blood pressure regulation.
When vitamin C levels are corrected, blood vessels relax more efficiently, leading to steadier blood pressure throughout the day. Vitamin C supports nitric oxide production, which helps arteries expand instead of resisting blood flow. Conversations around nutrition often focus on consistency and everyday food choices as part of broader wellness discussions.
Vitamin C is frequently highlighted in research for its relationship to overall vascular health and how it may connect with long-term blood pressure patterns. Vitamin K2 plays a powerful role in blood pressure because it controls where calcium ends up inside your blood vessels. Without enough vitamin K2, calcium hardens arteries instead of strengthening bones, making blood pressure harder to control over time.
This is why vitamin K2 matters. It doesn't act overnight, but it protects arteries from stiffening year after year. Vitamin K2 doesn't just support arteries. It helps prevent the structural damage that keeps blood pressure elevated long-term. When arterial stiffness decreases, blood pressure becomes easier to control, and vitamin K2 plays a direct role in that process. With enough vitamin K2, arteries regain flexibility, reducing resistance to blood flow and easing the pressure inside them.
Vitamin K2 is not about quick fixes. It's about protecting your arteries over the long run.
Vitamin K2 is frequently discussed in research for its relationship to vascular structure and how that may relate to long-term cardiovascular patterns. Vitamin D has the strongest scientific connection to high blood pressure because it directly influences the hormonal system that controls vessel tension.
Vitamin D is often discussed in research exploring how hormonal regulatory systems may relate to long-term blood pressure observations.
When vitamin D levels return to a healthy range, many patients experience steadier blood pressure and fewer morning spikes.
Among commonly studied nutrients, vitamin D is often discussed for its relationship to long-term blood pressure observations in clinical research. Once vitamin D reaches a healthy range, both blood pressure and inflammation often improve, creating a more stable cardiovascular environment.
Vitamin D activates receptors in the kidneys that help regulate renin, a central hormone responsible for tightening or relaxing your blood vessels.
Many patients feel better overall, better sleep, better energy, and steadier blood pressure when their vitamin D levels are restored.
Of all nutrients, vitamin D shows the strongest and most consistent link to high blood pressure, making it essential to check and correct.
Let's review the vitamins in order of their impact, starting from the mildest influence and moving to the strongest connection to high blood pressure.
B12 and vitamin C form the foundation. B12 supports nerve balance, while vitamin C stabilizes vascular flexibility and reduces daily pressure swings.
Vitamin B6 is often discussed in relation to stress response patterns, while vitamin D is frequently highlighted in research.
Understanding this order helps you take the right steps, starting from mild support all the way to correcting the strongest deficiency linked to high blood pressure. Each winter, vitamin D levels drop, and for many patients, blood pressure quietly rises without an obvious explanation.
Regular, safe sunlight exposure helps your body produce vitamin D naturally, supporting healthier blood pressure regulation.
Correcting vitamin D isn't guesswork. It's a measured process, monitored over time to support steadier blood pressure. Among all vitamins, deficiency in vitamin D shows the strongest and most consistent link to high blood pressure.
At the mildest level, vitamin B12 plays an indirect role, supporting nerve health without directly driving blood pressure up.
Vitamin C moves the needle further by supporting vessel flexibility and moderating daily blood pressure swings.
Vitamin B6 is frequently discussed in research that explores stress-related patterns and how they may be observed alongside long-term blood pressure trends.
As we move higher, the mechanisms shift from indirect support to direct control, where blood pressure is most strongly affected.
Vitamin K2 ranks higher because it protects artery structure, reducing stiffness that keeps blood pressure elevated.
At the top is vitamin D, because it directly regulates the hormonal systems that control blood vessel tension and blood pressure.
From B12 at the mild end to vitamin D at the strongest, this order shows how different deficiencies influence blood pressure. Knowing this order helps you focus on what matters most when improving blood pressure safely and effectively.
The most important step is testing. Never assume a deficiency without checking your actual vitamin levels.
With vitamins, more is not better. Balance matters, especially with nutrients that affect blood pressure.
Vitamins work best when combined with healthy habits and tracked over time, not treated as quick fixes.
When done safely and individually, correcting deficiencies can support better blood pressure control without unnecessary risk. If this information helped you understand your blood pressure better, you're already taking a positive step. I invite you to subscribe to Health Hack Hive so you can continue learning how to protect your heart with evidence-based guidance. Please like and share this video. It may offer helpful perspective for someone you care about. If you have questions, leave a comment below. I read them, and I'll see you in the next episode.